You know that sound, the roar of a lion. It's one of the most powerful, most iconic sounds in the entire animal kingdom. It just screams wild. But what's really happening when a lion lets out that roar? Is it just noise? Well, we're going to dig into the science, the message, and the secrets hidden inside a single epic roar. So first, let's just talk pure power. A lion's roar can hit 114 decibels. Now, to give you an idea of what that means, that's about 25 times louder than a gas-powered lawnmower. Yeah, the one you can hear from down the block. This is a sound that's literally built to travel for miles. But that massive volume brings up a really interesting question, right? Is it just a loud noise for the sake of being loud, or is there an actual complex message packed inside it? That's what we're going to unpack. How we go from a sound weapon to a really sophisticated piece of communication. Okay, so to understand the message, we first have to look under the hood at the machine itself. How on earth does a lion even make a sound that loud? The answer, it turns out, is deep inside its throat, and it has to do with the piece of anatomy that makes them really, really special. And here is where the biology gets super cool. See, while most mammals, you and me included, have vocal folds that are shaped kind of like a triangle, lions and tigers have square ones. Seriously, square. This completely different shape is the entire foundation of their incredible power. So this square shape, which is held in place by fatty tissue, is the secret sauce. It lets their vocal folds vibrate and create that huge sound with way less effort, with less lung pressure. It's a system that is perfectly designed for maximum noise with minimum work. And get this, here's a comparison you were probably not expecting. A top voice scientist pointed out that a lion's roar and a baby's cry actually have something in common. Both are made by these really loose, kind of gel-like vocal folds. This creates these irregular vibrations that produce a sound, whether it's a deep roar or high-pitched cry, that our brains find almost impossible to ignore. All right, so we've got a sound that's incredibly powerful and is literally designed to grab our attention. But what's it actually saying? Now we get to see how that raw power becomes something way more complex. We're talking about the idea that every single lion has its own unique vocal signature, a fingerprint hidden right there in its roar. And this is the big question researchers wanted to answer. Could they listen to a roar in the wild and know for sure exactly which lion made it? The hunt for this vocal fingerprint started by looking at the most obvious parts of the sound. So here's what they did. Scientists put these special collars with microphones on specific lions so they could record their roars. And their first idea was pretty straightforward. They just measured simple stuff, like the highest pitch, the lowest pitch, how long the roar was, hoping they'd find a unique combo for each lion. But it didn't work. Not even close. When they put those simple features into a computer model, the results were pretty awful. As you can see, just using the lowest pitch only gave them about 24% accuracy. And at their very best, using the highest pitch, they only got to about 50%. That's basically just a coin toss. And that's when they had the aha moment. They realized they were looking at the wrong thing entirely. The secret to a lion's identity wasn't in one single measurement. It was hidden in the overall shape of the sound. It wasn't the note, it was the melody. The fancy scientific name for this is the F0 contour, but just think of it as the roar's unique tune. It's like a map of how the main pitch goes up and down over the course of the roar. And that specific acoustic shape is what makes every single roar different. So when the researchers analyzed this melody instead of just the simple high and low notes, their accuracy just exploded, all the way up to an incredible 91.5%. Bingo, they had found it. The vocal fingerprint was real. Okay, so discovering a lion's vocal signature is amazing science, for sure. But its real power is in what we can now do with that information. This isn't just a cool fact for a trivia night. This breakthrough opens up a whole new way to think about wildlife conservation. I mean, think about how hard it is for conservationists. Lions are mostly active at night. They patrol these gigantic territories, sometimes over 500 square kilometers. Trying to tell one from another just by sight, especially in the dark, is next to impossible. And sure, GPS collars work, but they are expensive, and you have to tranquilize the animal to put one on, which is always risky. But what if you never had to see the lion at all? Check this out. This map shows the actual location of a lion from its GPS collar, compared to where researchers pinpointed it just by listening to its roars from different microphones. They line up almost perfectly. This proves they can track a lion just by eavesdropping. This whole technique is called passive acoustic monitoring. You basically set up a network of smart microphones and just listen. You can hear where a roar is coming from, and now, thanks to that F0 contour discovery, you can know exactly who is doing the roaring. And this isn't just a lab experiment. It works incredibly well out in the wild. In a field test, this listening method was able to tell two different male lions apart with 90% accuracy. This is a total game changer, a cheap, non-invasive way to track populations and understand their behavior better. So we've gone on this journey all the way from the unique anatomy inside a lion's throat to a revolutionary new tool for conservation. It just completely changes how you think about what a roar even is. It's so much more than just a loud sound. So let's just trace that journey one last time. It all starts with those weird, square-shaped vocal folds that make an incredibly powerful sound. Hidden inside that sound is a secret signature, that FO contour, which is basically a vocal fingerprint. Scientists can now read that fingerprint with over 91% accuracy. And that lets conservationists track lions in a whole new way, without ever having to lay eyes on them. And that leaves us with one last really big thought. A lion's roar isn't just a sound. It's a broadcast. It's full of data about who the lion is and where it is. So if we've only just now figured out how to decode this one signal, it just makes you wonder, doesn't it? What other amazing conversations are happening out there in the wild, just waiting for us to finally learn how to listen?